that. I was nervous enough about having to follow the 70s suit, the student president. Really difficult act to follow. It's my job this evening really just to wind things up and to thank you for your attendance. But I suppose I'd like to just say a few words, particularly in support of a number of the things that both the Cabinet Secretary and that John have said. We sometimes have, I think in society, a very mixed image of young people. We have a sense sometimes that they're not part of us. And yet, in this area, in Edinburgh and the Lothians, young people continue to excel in terms of achievement at examination results, in terms of their ability to be flexible and adaptive, to hold down 2 or 3 part-time jobs whilst continuing their studies, to be connected to social issues and social media in a way that I don't possibly and couldn't possibly ever understand. And I think Edinburgh College specifically is about supporting the student, that member of the community, that individual, in all the ways that John describes. The Student Association here at Edinburgh has absolutely led the way in terms of this merger process. The students were up there before many of us, recognising the advantages and the challenges of working together to create a different type of college for Edinburgh and the Lothians, creating opportunities for Edinburgh and the Lothians. And it's my commitment to John that students will be involved in all major decision-making bodies of the college. We've put that in train right from day one, and we will continue to do so. The average age of a student across Edinburgh College is 28. This is a partnership arrangement. We learn as much as a staff from students as the students learn from us as a staff. And that two-way relationship is crucially important to the success of Edinburgh College. We produce students for the economy. You've seen this evening a range of activities that contribute to one of the greatest contributors to GDP for both the UK and the Scottish economy. Edinburgh City Council's economic strategy makes big play of the creative industries. Hairdressing alone contributes in excess of 300 million a year to GDP in Scotland. Our role is to serve you from an employment perspective, from an economic perspective, and from a community perspective, and that is clearly what we will set out to do. And again, as Jim and Ian have said, we want to do this in partnership. I think it's a great example of partnership this evening that we have our sponsors. Our sponsors this evening are Scottish and Southern Energy and Mitsubishi. And these are partners that are working with us on a long-term basis. They've sponsored this evening's event. I'm very grateful to them. They're continuing to sponsor curriculum, scholarships, students, possibilities, and employment. And every employer that we work with out there, I know wants to do that. So I'd ask you please to thank our sponsors for this evening, Scottish and Southern and Mitsubishi. I'd like to add my personal thanks to the absolutely, insurmountable, unbeatable, fabulous Brian Lister, who has been the most amazing support and interim principal. He's been posted in that role since April. I don't know where Brian is. I think I can vaguely see him there. That's my staying alive. Which has been, the marriage was referred to earlier, but it's been sticky at times, so thank you very much for that. I'd particularly like to say thank you to staff, and particularly staff who have supported the development this evening. We are a staff of over 1,200 people. We do a damn good job. You will find that most of these students here who have great positive destinations, 90% of our full-time students go into a positive destination post their course of study. They will tell you that the reason they're so good is because their staff and their teacher and their tutor is so good. So a round of applause, please, for those staff. power. He's just pushed us through this process. He's taken no prisoners. He's told us we're going to get there. We've got there. Thank you, Jim. With that 70s beat, which we were all saying, this is absolutely our era, moving around to, we must thank all the students who have been involved this evening. They've been marvellous. They're a testament, I think, to the huge sort of support and activity they're giving in college, but equally to the contribution they make to Scotland's economy, and they will continue to make. So a huge round of applause for the students. Which I hope you enjoy, and then please feel free to chat, wend your way, enjoy the evening in Edinburgh, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon. Thank you very much.